So, okay. Now moving on to the 4-6.
Okay. Oh.
This is the opportunist slash role model, or more kindly known as the stabilizer slash adept. So, this is our first and only profile with, I should say first, only. This is the only profile with both lines in the upper trigram. And what's interesting here is you would think that because of that, it would be a left angle profile, meaning it would have a left angle cross. Even though both profile lines are in the upper trigram, they have a uh, personal destiny. It's a self-focused destiny. They learn through their own experience in life. That's what the right angle cross means. So we know that the line 4 is all about their network and their community and their social and a little bit more extroverted, want to be in connection and in relationship with people. And the line 6 tends to want to be a little bit more withdrawn and observant and not so much in the clay there type, not in the clay. That's the line 6 wants to be withdrawn, more observant. They're not really always wanting to be in the fray, so to speak, with the relationships. But again, since there's a line 6 present here, another triphasic type thing in their life, a 4-6 can really want to be around people, but they can get really worn out if they're around people for too long. They really have to learn how to balance their social nature with their need to kind of also withdraw. Their friendships are incredibly important to them, and they are here to impact others. They're role models, and they impact others through their line 4 networks. So, how they impact their networks is by just being themselves. They are
Okay.
known to be rather friendly, generous people, and their way of approaching life is inspiring to others. So, some famous ones, interesting. Dolly Parton.
Okay.
Everybody would certainly say
Okay.
she was a friendly, generous person.
She lives herself.
Yeah. The Dalai Lama, if you think about him, he has a lot of impact, but and he is, everybody sees him. He's very friendly. He's very, smiles a lot, jokes a lot, that kind of
Hmm.
thing. But,
Both
you know,
dollies.
he's a Tibetan Buddhist monk who also spends much time withdrawn, observing
Hmm.
life.
Hmm.
Joe Biden.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, and let's look at Joe Biden. He finally became president in the very later years of his life. But they always said about him as well. People always, I mean, before everybody started hating on him when he became president, before that, everybody just loved Uncle Joe. How friendly,
Yeah.
generous.
As vice president, everyone loved him.
They appreciated back then. Remember, you would think he had a line 5, but no, it's just American politics. Uh, Back then, if you can remember, before he ran for president and won, everybody just thought he was the greatest because he was just kind of himself, right? He was just
Hmm.
the guy
Living
behind
life.
Obama wearing his aviator
Joking
sunglasses,
up.
eating ice
Joking
cream,
up.
choking up, the weird things he would say.
Jesus.
Buddy Buster.
Questionable hair sniffing, but
But as any president, seated president does, they get a lot of criticism. But he is someone that definitely has had that long triphasic type of life path when you can see how he has over the years really developed this. Well, role model is the obvious thing, but what I mean is, even in the adept, is the thing that he gets hated on for is being this career politician, but he's also a career politician that has, if people truly looked at his record, nobody's perfect for sure. He's had his blunders and his fails like
hmm.
anybody else. But the
Hmm.
general trajectory, I believe, has been his desire to help people. I
Hmm.
believe that. Hate me if you want to. I don't care. You'll learn about my profile next, and you'll see how much I don't care. I ain't changing. Anyway, sorry. I don't want to get down the road there too much. Another Brad Pitt. God, who doesn't love Brad Pitt?
Okay.
A lot of people, I'm sure, but I love him. But I mean, you could see him as a friendly individual who
Hmm.
also is kind of withdrawn. People don't, know everything about him.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean,
Eleanor Roosevelt was also a 4-6. So, anyways, so like I said, there is this need to be social, but if they are social for too long, it can be too much, it can be too tiring. They want to connect, but they also want to just witness life. So there is this, it's almost like I'm trying to think if I do know somebody in particular that does have this like very friendly wants that line 4 wants to include everybody type of thing.
hmm
It's like it wants to get to know you, get to connect with you, really help impact you on a personal level. But then that line 6 is like it's not so connected to you personally. It's just kind of like I said, it's more aloof. It is spends a lot of time on the roof and then it comes down and then it's just there to be an example. Not just there. It's not like they don't talk to people.
they're
Silly.
just there, very stoic.
Yeah. So what's interesting is that because there's that triphasic life or life path for the line 6, the line 4 part of their personality or their profile gets experienced a little differently throughout those 3 phases. So like in the first 30
Mm,
years, the line 3 aspect of the lines of the 6 profile wants to experiment. It wants to kind of shake things up, wants to try lots of different things, but the line 4 is always looking for stability, especially in relationships.
right.
Always wants
Hmm.
foundations. So there's going to be a little bit of tension there. And then on the roof again during that period, the line 4 aspect will definitely come forward more because it now has that time to breathe and to start building those foundations as the line
Right.
6 takes a break. You can see a
Line 6
lot
is
of,
like, you're up, buddy.
yeah, you could see a
Tag
lot of
in.
family building and connection making and everything during that phase of a 4-6 life. And then when after the age of 50, the line 4 can then re-enter life and as gained all this wisdom of experimenting with building foundations and then spending time to build the foundations and then taking all that information to then bring to their network of how they have gone through and experienced life and relationships and bring everybody in and you know affect them.
Okay.
So 4-6s establish their leadership energy, that adept, that role model energy through relational connection with people and in a more intimate way than a strictly line 6 would because of that 4. They have a very friendly, solid feeling about them. One thing that's always noted about line 4s is that since they are like a foundational energy, they're that foundation of the upper trigram, they're really
Hmm.
resistant to change. They don't like change. They don't like fast change.
Hmm.
But since the line 6 side of them has that long view, they are a little bit easier to change as one of these line 4 personalities because you've got the
Mm,
1-4, 2-4, 4-6, 4-1. So this is the one that is a little bit more open to change because it has this long view perspective. So one challenge that a 4-6 can have is that since they can have a long view, they can often see things, see potential problems or whatever before other people see them. And so um, they they can see trouble coming down the road in a way and can
hmm
see where people might have to alter their behaviors or change how things are way before their networks see them. And there's a tendency to want to rush that process, but they really can't. So say you're somebody with a 4-6 profile who is really, let's say, invested in climate change initiatives, that you're somebody that sees where the problems are, but it's 20 years ago. And
From now.
yeah, so like somebody who can see that if we keep continuing down this road as a whole, we're going to have a lot of issues. What might seem like a small thing now is going to be a bigger issue. Say, like the plastic bag usage. A 4-6 might have seen way before the rest of the world or even their own community could see that where's all this going? We're going to have a problem here. We need to, and so they may be the one that in their community and their network started encouraging people to not use single use plastics, that you should, I mean, let's think about it. There's probably a lot of these 4-6s out there that were leading this charge of like being the weird one at the grocery store, carrying a bag with them all the time. People are like, what are they doing? It's so more convenient, so much more convenient to just have these plastics. Well, yeah, it's more convenient, but it's a long-term problem. Eventually, people will catch up with them once they're ready to hear it. So they kind of just have to have that modeling behavior that eventually their networks will catch up for them. So they can, if they try to push it too fast, people just they won't understand them, and they often are misunderstood. So they just got to be patient and realize that they may be ahead of the game for a lot of people in their network, but they just have to let them catch up with them. Be themselves anyway. Lead the way. They'll catch up.